Benny, sit. Good boy. All right, you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is me, Donovan. Man, people are still losing their minds out there and they're not getting it. But the good thing is, a lot of people are waking up. Reality is hitting people in the damn face. And some people can handle it, some people can't. And I wanted to get on here real quick. Um, I want to talk about this real quick. My city council last Tuesday voted, last Tuesday just passed, they voted not to use city resources to stop the federal government from doing their job of removing illegal aliens, you know, from the United, from the city or whatever, using resources, whatever. But yet, my understanding, and I could be wrong on the bill, you're going to use the ordinance to protect people that shouldn't be here to begin with. 5 council members, again, I have 5 council members, 4 of them are all Hispanic. The vote went 4-1. Lone non-Hispanic on the council is a black female. Who do you think voted not to go with this ordinance? It wasn't the black female. See, again, this is where we're having a lot of problems in our community. In my opinion, this was a waste of time and it's a wedge issue. Everybody has a role. Every agency has a role. Who are we to stop the federal government from doing their job? Just like I wouldn't want the federal government stopping the city from doing their job. But these politicians love these wedge issues to where they get us fighting against each other and we're not looking at the big picture. The big picture is if you're in this country illegally, for whatever reasons, go through the process. If you get arrested, that has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with the American citizen. Go through the process. For the city to waste time to do this, for people who can't vote for you, unless you're in California or New York and you're against ID laws so that you can get illegal people to vote for you. Anyway, that's another story, okay? The point is, waste of time, total waste of time. Out of the 5 people that voted, the Ed Delgado, who used to be the undersheriff of Riverside County, he voted no on this ordinance because it's a waste of time, right? A man that stands for law and order, right? He was a sheriff, so the number 2 sheriff. So he's for law and order. So his vote makes sense to me. The black chick's vote, that doesn't make sense to me. And this is a problem in the black community. We have these bootlicks that keep championing issues of other groups that don't champion for us. So the ordinance passed. I haven't really read what is actually in the ordinance, but I am going to read it and I'm going to send a strongly worded email to get it on the public record to let them know how I feel about it. Now, am I disappointed that my council member voted for this? No, I'm not, and I'm going to tell you why. My council member is a daughter of a city activist, okay? Her mother was a student activist in the schools, and her mother is a advocate for Hispanic issues in general. So I wasn't surprised by the vote. That didn't surprise me. I'm not upset by it. Don't care. I really don't care. I just think that maybe that was a waste of city time and resources. Now, when I do get to the bill, I am going to find out if we are not going to help the federal government do their job. I hope we're wasting resources for people who shouldn't be in the country to begin with. So I'll be looking into that. So the reason why I'm on this post is this is Facebook Live. I'm trying to learn it a little better, and I tried to share the screen, and for some reason I can't seem to understand how the share screen thing works. It takes the whole thing, and I can't figure it out, and I'm going to figure it out one day. But Chief Moloch says, Donovan, in seeking knowledge, can you send me a link or direct me to where the current presidency plan is to help lower cost of living, housing, and groceries? Also, I would like to read about his plans to increase job opportunities that's beyond blue-collar work. Lastly, can you show me the plans that level the diversity the field? This dismantling, this theory, practice of DEI is concerning to, hold on, sorry about that, to people of color, the female gender LGBTQ. In all honesty, I'm truly open-minded to both side thoughts, but there's so much hypocrisy in politics that I want to see what is written. Honestly, I judge a person more so by what they do, not what they say. That said, help me and others understand, see the light. So that's a lot of questions there. So Chief Moloch, me and him be talking off the thing. And by the way, you guys, Chief Moloch, he's a filthy bird. So I shouldn't be helping him as a Dallas Cowboy fan, but since we grew up together, I'm going to do it. So that's my disclaimer here. I don't want anybody to think that I'm colluding with the Philadelphia Eagles and anything like that. So let's put that up there. I got Philly green behind me, but that's a green screen. So it doesn't mean, right? The good thing about this whole thing, you guys, is it is not my job to convert you guys to be Democrats, Republicans, Independents, or whatever. It is my job to give you the information and to be independent thinkers. The other day, I put up a clip of Higher Learning. How many of you guys saw the movie Higher Learning? A lot of people saw it. And in that clip, Lawrence Fishburne is talking to Omar Epps, and he's basically saying, and this answers part of your question, Chief Moloch, and in the clip, he's basically saying, you have a runner, because Omar Epps is a track star, supposedly, right? And Lawrence Fishburne asked him, basically, what do you do when you find out that the other team has a runner that is super fast? Do you leave the track? What do you do? Omar Epps' reply in the video, you guys go look for it. It's somewhere on this feed. I just put it up yesterday. He says, no, I run faster. That's the answer to DEI. We don't need a program that says, well, you're trans, so we're going to put you here. Oh, you're a woman, we're going to put you here. Oh, you're black, we're going to put you here. Do you guys know that the military is the only organization in existence today that is merit-based? I know a lot of you guys are saying, oh, that's bullshit. You got the academy guys, and you got, the way it's set up, and, if you're so-and-so son, that's every organization. But what I'm saying is, if you come into the military from whatever your background is, nobody makes you a squadron leader because you're trans. Nobody makes you a commander because you're a female. You get those positions based on your individual merit. Can we not agree about that? If you know anything about the military, for those of you guys that have been in the military, those of you guys that may have lived the military life as dependents, your parents got promoted based on their individual merit. They filled out all the boxes. They did all the athletic stuff. They were really good at their job, and you get promoted. Have you guys ever seen Muhammad Ali says, well, I'm the greatest. I'm the heavyweight champion. Because I'm the heavyweight champion, I'm going to give my belt to my son. How many of you guys know Muhammad Ali had a son? He has one son. No, you've never seen that. And then nobody would respect that. That's why it doesn't happen. The military is the only organization to where it is based on your individual merit. If you do not meet the parameters of what the military says you're supposed to meet, what happens to you? You get put out. They deny you re-enlistment. But the opportunities are there, right? Now, I know a few years ago women couldn't be in combat and all that, and I still believe women should not be in combat. But yeah, some doors were closed, just like for blacks. The doors were closed. But all of that changed in 1947, the Air Force and the Armed Forces. Truman signed in the Armed Forces, whatever bill that was, that integrated the military and stuff like that. And for the first time, black people had to compete under individual merit. But we've always had to compete. And this is what black people keep forgetting. We've been told from the time that we were young, as a black person, we have to do it 10 times better than our counterpart. So why would we need DEI? So Chief Moloch, I'm just answering that part of it. DEI benefits white women more so than any group that it was set up supposedly for. Just like affirmative action. Affirmative action benefited white women more than any other group, even though affirmative action was set up specifically for black people. But white women benefited the most. Now you have this DEI thing, white women benefit the most out of anybody else that could possibly benefit from it. But black people, in my opinion, we don't need DEI for the simple fact that we can outwork anybody. Did you guys forget that? I was always told I have to do it better than my compadres. Have we forgot that? I mean, what planet do you guys live on? If you're a black person, when did you not hear that? I've always heard that my whole life, even when I was in training. When I was in training, they took me to the side and said, look, you got to do it this way. You got to be this way. You got to do this. It's always been like that. So DEI is something that really, it doesn't work in the military, I'll tell you that. I have never seen anybody get promoted because they're gay. I've never seen anybody get promoted because, you know, they're Hispanic. They got promoted on their individual merit. And if you guys heard recently, the commander of the USS Truman aircraft carrier, he just got removed because of that collision that happened outside of the Suez Canal. Now, was he a DEI hire? Was he not married? The guy was a lifelong fighter pilot. He was in command of the Nimitz and stuff, and something happened, and I guess the radar wasn't on, and they got the collision, and they removed him. If you guys notice, a lot of people in the military that are in command positions have been removed. And when I was in the military, you didn't see this type of turnover that's happening. Why is this turnover happening? Could it be because of DEI? I don't know. I don't legitimately know. So I hope that answers your thing on DEI. We don't need it. Black people especially don't need it, okay? I would say everybody should be judged on their individual merit, like Martin Luther King says, the content of their character, right? Don't judge me because of the color of my skin or my sexuality or my political views. Judge me on the content of my character. See, it's funny how we forget all these things, but yet we're Christians, we're this, we're that. Oh, you voted for this person, and so you're that, and you did. Come on. My politics has nothing to do with who I am as a person. It has a little bit to do with it. I'm very conservative, but the point is that doesn't make me who I am. Okay? So, in the question, he says, where does Trump think? So I'm going to look this up. Okay, I'm going to see if I could find you the answer, because I could answer it off the top of my head, but I'm not going to do that. Trump's plan to lower the cost of living. Let's see. Here it is right here. Found it. Okay. All right, I found it. If we just do a little digging and research for ourselves, because like I said, don't take it from me. I don't want you to, on my podcast show and my YouTube channel, hey, Dimitri, did you make it back to California? Or, because I had them waiting at the border for you, because I had a feeling you were going to sneak in through the Interstate 10 at the fruit stand, when you come through the thing and they check your fruit. So I had them waiting for you over there. So hopefully they'll get you up out of here. and get you back to Texas. Like I said, pull your California driver's ID, all that other stuff. So you got to get up out of here, okay? So real quick though, all you got to do, and this is what I ask people, don't take it from me or Demetra or anybody else. When we do our show, we always say this. Don't listen to what we say. Research what we say. When I come up here and I talk about a certain topic, what I'm talking about is based on, oh, you shook them off? All right, well then guess what? I got to call in the troops then. I got to call in the troops to escort you on the plane, the C-17 at March, and get you up out of here, just like them immigrants, okay? We're going to get you up out of here. But whenever I talk about a topic, I don't just go with one source. I go from a source from the left. I go from a source from the right. I go from left, up, down, whatever, right? And then I come to a consensus of what I think it should be, right? What my understanding of it is. And that's what I hope everybody else does. When I was in college, that's how we were taught to study and research things. You just can't go with one source. You have to go with many sources and come to a conclusion. You better call Elon. Tom Holman, yeah, exactly. No, we're gonna get you up out of here. Like I said, just wait. You'll be out there with the illegals with your South African flag. We just look for the rainbow, the South African flag with the EFF on it. We're gonna get you out of here. You'll be better yet, you'll be out of here by Monday. Monday, we're gonna get you up out of here. All right. So, you should be looking at many sources to do that. So I'm gonna talk about this real quick because I want to keep you guys. I know it's Friday. You guys are going out, party, do everything like that. This is what Donald Trump put out for his policy for his administration. And you could go to the whitehouse.org and it's right there. Okay, so I'm going to give you the background of it. It's called, and this is from the whitehouse.org, and it says, Delivering Emergency Price Relief for American Families and Defeating the Cost of Living Crisis. Okay, wait, as a matter of fact, I'm going to put it in the chat so you don't think I'm making this stuff up. Right? And I'll be back. Yeah, did you hear about that one Mexican guy? He's been deported like 10 times. He keeps coming back. Yeah. Oh, man, you can't make this stuff up. So, okay. So there it is. There's his plan. Over the past 4 years, the Biden administration's destructive policies inflicted an historic inflation crisis on the American people. The Biden administration not only exploded government spending, artificially and unsustainably stimulating demand, but it simultaneously made necessary goods and services scarce through a crushing regulatory burden and radical policies designed to weaken American production. Hardworking families today are overwhelmed by the cost of fuel, food, housing, automobile, medical care, utilities, and insurance. So this is his plan, and that's just the introductory thing to it. Okay, he says, Moreover, many Americans are unable to purchase homes due to historically high prices, in part due to regulatory requirements that alone account for 25% of the cost of constructing a new home, according to recent analysis. In sum, unprecedented regulatory oppression from the Biden administration is estimated to have imposed almost $50,000 in costs on the average American household, whereas my first-term agenda reduced regulatory costs by almost $11,000 per household. It is critical to restore purchasing power to the American family and improve our quality of life. Here's what he's going to do. I hereby order the heads of all executive departments and agencies to deliver emergency price relief consistent with applicable law to the American people and increase the prosperity of the American worker. This shall include pursuing appropriate actions to lower the cost of housing and expand housing supply, eliminate unnecessary administrative expenses and rent-seeking practices that increase healthcare costs, eliminate counterproductive requirements that raise the cost of home appliances, create employment opportunities for American workers, including discouraging workers include drawing discouraged workers into the labor force, and eliminate harmful, cohesive climate policies that increase the cost of food and fuel. Within 30 days of the date of this memorandum, the Assistant to the President for Economic Policy shall report to me, and every 30 days thereafter, on the status of the implementation of this moratorium. So, right there, he's working and on doing exactly what you asked him to do, and it's right there in the White House, and he's ordered all of these departments to do what needs to be done to lower the cost of groceries, housing, and all this other stuff, and they are to report to him in 30 days. He hasn't been in the White House. Well, yeah, he's been in the White House now about 30 days, so he should have gotten a report yesterday. Then he's going to get a report every 30 days. So that's his plan. He's already told all the departments to do this. And it's right there if you want to read it in depth. Go to thewhitehouse.org. Okay. Lastly, can you show me the plans that level the diversity field? I don't think he has a plan to do that. I don't think Donald Trump believes in DEI. So to me, we don't need it. You don't need that. It's all merit based. You know, my thing with that is, and I question this all the time. Why is it that we always have to be a victim? How long are we going to be a victim? In one word, we say, oh, well, you know, we got the Civil Rights Act, and we've got this, and we've got that, right? All of these things that they've done, right, to help black people. Oh, we got affirmative action. So why are we still victims? I'm just asking. I'm asking. Why is it that black people are the only group of people in the United States that has to have a voting rights act to protect our rights to vote? Ukrainians come in here, they don't have to have a voting rights act. Afghans come in here, they don't have to have a voting rights act. Chinese, Hispanics, all these other groups come in here, they can just vote. You know, legally, some illegally. But you know what I mean? They come in here, they become residents, citizens, or whatever, and they can vote. So when do we stop being victims? Does racism ever go away? No, I don't believe that. But when do we stop being victims? Show me a government program specific to black people that has ever been successful, to where black people are doing well for themselves. The majority of black people are not, and I know Demetra doesn't agree with me on this, but the wealth gap between us and them, white people and black people, is going to take 250 years for black people to catch up. Which tells me, if that's the wealth gap between the two, black people as a whole aren't doing well. That's logically me thinking about that. Forget the numbers. If the median wealth is, if white people have a median home income of $250,000 and black people have a income of $16,000, there's a problem. When are we going to stop being victims? When are we going to say, you know what, this American nightmare is not working for us, we're going to have to start doing for ourselves? When are we going to start doing that? When I was in the military and I was enlisted, I'm out here, and Chief Moloch and the rest of you guys, I'm out here as a mechanic in the rain. I remember I was sitting doing a tire change, and it's raining, and you know, the plane is, you know, the water's falling on you. I got the TO out there. I'm reading the book. I've got my torque wrench. I remember I was turning that torque wrench, and I just looked, and I see the flight crew bus pull up. And don't get me wrong, I know the flight crew, they have a different type of situation and mission, but I'm in the grime, right? And I just remember sitting there and I was like, I got to do better than this. And don't get me wrong, you could teach a monkey to fly an airplane, but you can't teach a monkey to fix an airplane. That's a true statement. Don't ever forget that. Very important. Mechanics are very important. But I just looked at those guys and I was like, I got to do better for myself, right? But I had to do it. I didn't look for a program and said, well, I'm black, so, I shouldn't have to do this part because I'm black. I should get special privileges. No, I want to go through the exact same thing that everybody else goes through so that I can hold my head up high and say, yes, I did everything that I was supposed to do just like you. And you know what? I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I didn't play the victim. Oh, I can't do this. I remember going to all these reserve units and applying to be a part of the unit and stuff and just getting the door shut in my face. They tried to give me a math test and I complained about the math test because to be a flight engineer or whatever it was, all you needed was a maintenance background. If you wanted to be a flight engineer, you had to have a maintenance background to do that. And they were throwing all of these things up. And I was like, oh, this is some bullshit. And I complained all the way up to the numbered Air Force. And the Air Force Reserves had to get rid of these tests that they were doing to wash people out. If you had the background, you had to do it. You had to give them the shot. You just can't, well, we're giving them, I remember the guy said, well, we're giving them the test to make sure that they're going to be successful in school. That's not your job. You're allotted so much money every fiscal year. You put the people through. If they make it, if they don't make it, that's on them. Again, no DEI. No DEI. I'm going to make it on my own merit, period. The money's going to be there. The training money is allocated to put these people through. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't make it. Now, here's a person like myself, which is why I didn't want the math test, because I wasn't good at math. But yet people say, well, how did you become? Long story, but I did it, okay? I memorized the CBT. That's how I did it. And then I went back to college and learned math and all this other stuff. But the point is, you don't need DEI to do this. When are we going to stop being victims? Oh, you got to let me do this, sir, because I'm black and I come from a poor background. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Can you do the job? Like Donovan or hate me, here's one thing. One of the things that you will find from people that knew me in Alaska in my flying squadron. I was known as Mr. Reliable. I hated Alaska so much. I liked Alaska. I didn't like the cold. California guy up in Alaska. Any mission that went anywhere, my name was on that board. If you called me at the last minute to go on a trip, I was there. They called me Mr. Reliable. They said, Donovan's on the board. He'll be here. Don't worry about him calling in. Because, usually, you get your wake-up call from the tower or whatever. I forgot what it's called, but the tower or whatever, and that would wake you up. You're legal. Now you're in legal time. And you have to report and then go through you start your day and you're on the clock and you start your day, right? And I got to a point where you ain't got to call me. I'm going to be there. They're like, yeah, Donovan's going to show up. Yeah, he'll be here. Don't worry about it. If they call me at the last minute, yeah, give him time. He'll be here, whatever. I'll go get the plane ready, whatever I need to do. But, yeah, when are we going to stop being victims? So all you got to do, if you want to know anything in regards to policy of a specific president, what he's going to do, go to whitehouse.gov. All the answers are there. And I put it in the chat. If you guys are interested, you want to go check that out. Last but not least, my good sis. She keeps telling me that it is my fault because I voted for Trump that all of these horrific things are happening. That's not true. And I'll tell you why. And I keep telling people, I am not a Trump supporter. I am not a Donald Trump supporter. I'm not. I voted for Donald Trump because the Democrats don't do shit for black people. That's it. I've been a Democrat up until the time I was 46 years old. And black people are in a worse position now than they were than when I was younger. Explain that. But yet people are telling me I should continue to do the same thing and expecting a different result. No, I decided, hey, you know what? Since they're giving me the finger and not doing what I need them to do, and they're not living up to their promises, I'll give my vote over here. Since you're not paying attention to me, I will vote over here. But my one vote doesn't dictate what goes on in this country. So that's not true, my sis. That is not true, what you're saying. That would be like me saying, because you vote Democrat, you don't like black people. You don't want black people to get reparations. You're for slavery. You're for Jim Crow. Wouldn't that be crazy if I said that because you continually vote Democrat? No, you vote Democrat because of whatever your issues that you want done. You vote Democrat. I am an independent. I've been an independent since I was 46 years old when I left the Democratic Party. So I could vote either way. If the Democrats want my vote, which they can still get, give me what I want. If you don't want to give me what I want, I might have to give my vote over here. Thus now in the Democratic Party, with 30% of black people have walked away from the Democratic Party, that 30% now control the board. So we have to get out of this interpreting people's vote. I don't care how you vote. I just want you to be an informed voter. So we got to have these conversations, just like I read from Chief Moloch there. He said, hey, school me on this. Where do I get information on that? Whatever the deal is. I can almost guarantee you Chief Moloch is going to stay a Democrat. I can almost guarantee it. But he wants the information. Information is power. But guess what? A lot of people, they don't get the information. They get the soundbite. Soundbite is not power because you don't know what's behind it. So we could get into these conversations as adults without freaking out. I am not a Republican. I am not a Donald Trump supporter. I am an independent. And I will take my one vote just like you took your one vote and you went and voted however the hell you wanted, and I respect it. I respect it. I didn't even vote for Biden in 2020. And he's wrecked this country, and a lot of you guys probably voted for Joe Biden for the last 4 years that opened the border, so it was your vote that opened the borders. Logic, right? No, that's insanity. That's insanity. You voted for this, this, and this. I'm very sure you did not vote to bust the borders wide open. I'm very sure of that. And I'm not going to assume that. So why would you assume my vote got Trump into office? Because as we know, popular vote doesn't elect the president. Hello? The popular vote doesn't elect the president. 2016, Donald Trump lost by 7 million popular votes. Thus, I do not understand why family members and friends are at each other's throats and mad at each other and all this other stuff when the popular vote doesn't even elect the president. It's all political theater, keeping everybody, wedge issues, keeping everybody fighting while they're robbing us deaf, dumb, and blind. Even though Donald Trump and his administration is uncovering billions of tax dollars that is being wasted, much less with the migrants that we've done and spent 4 years on. But you guys don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. As an independent, I could now look at both parties and say, oh, this is good, that's bad, that's bad. and call it for what it is. But see, when I was a Democrat, oh, the Democrat, it don't matter, Democrat. Republican, Trump. No, I'm not that person. The next 4 years is going to be a lot of pain for people, and it's unfortunate. However, let's be real, 92% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. 78% of black men voted for Kamala Harris. So once again, black people, majority, voted for the Democratic Party. What about the other groups? Let's look at their numbers. So ratio-wise, I would say at least 65%, which is a majority of the black population, voted for the Democratic Party. Majority of black people voted for the Democratic Party again. Still. How do the other groups vote? Where's your smoke for the Asians that voted 50% for Donald Trump? Where's the smoke for the Hispanics that voted 60% for Donald Trump? Where's your smoke for white people that voted 50% for Donald Trump? See, why is it always when a black person chooses to vote independently and think for themselves, it's a problem? I don't see anybody coming down on the Asians. I don't see anybody, even though the Asians got a bill based on black people putting Joe Biden in the office. Remember what he said in 2020? It was the black vote that saved his campaign. And what do we get for it? 0. Everybody else got something. Black people, 0. A lot of pain. A lot of pain is out there. So, again, it's unfortunate, but this is where we're at. And I've got my popcorn. I've got my Fruit Loops. And I'm going to sit and watch what's going to happen. That's all. So anyway, you guys, if you guys see Demetra K, please call me, and I'll call ICE. We will have her picked up as soon as possible. Don't forget to sign my petition to get Demetra K off of YouTube because she's waking up too many people. Also, if you guys are interested, please go ahead and download the African Diaspora News Channel. We are 7 days away for the 20% off special that is going on to subscribe, annual subscription. So if you're interested and you want to give knowledge to what's going on in the African diaspora all around the world, subscribe to the African Diaspora News Channel. Brother Phil has a 20% off special going on right now, and that is a great deal. Great gift, great wedding anniversary, great graduation gift, great birthday present. It is great, trust me. African Diaspora News Channel, you can get that on Google Play, Apple Store. Download it, become a member, subscribe. Again, this month only, 20% off. Hopefully, Brother Phil, if you don't get it on this one, hopefully later on in the year, Brother Phil will do another special, and we can do that. Also, Demetra K and the African Diaspora News Channel will be in Columbus, Ohio in May. Go check it. I'll put the flyer up on my page here on Facebook. You can go to Demetra K's thing. If you guys want to see Demetra K in person, you can do so. If you're going to attend that event, first ticket is free. All the other tickets you got to pay for, but they're giving away 1 ticket free. So if you look, hey, you want to take your significant other, hey, 2 for 1. Why not? It's like a coupon. And you ladies know with me, ain't no shame in my game. I'll throw out a coupon in a minute. And we're going to go out to dinner. 2 for 1. I'm for it. I'm for it. So you can check out Demetra K over there as well. But again, we need to start having these conversations. We need to start talking about politics more. All of this corruption that is going around and the rise of Donald Trump, it's your fault that Donald Trump has risen because you were not paying attention. The Democratic Party is a joke when they talk about there's nothing that they can do, but yet the filibuster, you've got the parliamentarian, all of these things when they were in power, they couldn't do. And now they're out of power and they can't do nothing. So why vote for them at all? Think about that. Didn't Joe Biden say, if you give me the Senate, I will get you a task force on policing, a federal task force on policing. I'll get you a George Floyd bill. I'll get you a John Lewis voting rights bill. We didn't get none of that. And we voted for him. He had the House, the Senate, and the White House. Didn't do one thing that he promised. Didn't do one. And yet, I'm supposed to continue to vote for nothing. Don't think so. Donovan Sadiq, you guys. I will be talking to you guys mañana. Have a great weekend. Start with your little chickens and steaks and stuff. But if you're going to eat all that stuff, please go to the gym. Too many of us are checking out of here too early. Later.